Hello children, how are you? I hope you all are doing good. Children, today I am going to narrate you a very interesting story, The Conceited Python. Conceited means Ghamandi. Ghamandi Python. Grandfather could never resist buying unusual pets, and once he paid a snake charmer in the bazaar only 4 rupees for the young 4-feet python that was on display to a crowd of eager boys and girls. Grandfather ने क्या खरीद लिया? 4 rupees में एक लंबा पाइथन खरीद लिया. Grandfather impressed the gathering by slinging the python over his shoulders and walking home with it. क्या किया उन्होंने? अपने पाइथन को अपने गले में डाल दिया और अपने घर की तरफ चले गए. The first to see them arrive was Toto, our pet monkey, swinging from a branch of the jackfruit tree. Swinging means झूलना. जो जैकफ्रूट ट्री की ब्रांच पे झूल रहा था टोटो, सबसे पहले उसने देखा. One look at the python and he fled into the house, squealing with fright. डर से चिल्ला रहा था. The noise brought grandmother onto the veranda, where she nearly fainted at the sight of the python curled round grandfather's throat. Throat means गला, गर्दन में. जो गर्दन में जिसने कर्ल किया हुआ था पाइथन ने, ग्रैंडमदर देख के बेहोश हो गई. It will strangle you to death, she cried. Get rid of it at once. ये तुम्हें मार देगा, वो चिल्लाई जोर से. Nonsense, said grandfather. He is only a young fellow. He will soon get used to us. जल्दी वो हमारा habitual हो जाएगा. Grandmother, but I have no intention of getting used to him. And you know your cousin Mabel is coming to stay with us tomorrow. She will leave the minute she knows there is a snake in the house. जो आंट मेबल आ रही हैं, कज़न मेबल आ रही हैं, वो जैसे ही देखेंगी स्नेक को घर में, वो चली जाएंगी. Well, I can't let it loose in the garden. It might find its way into the poultry house. And then where would be? Oh, how irritating you are, grumbled grandmother. Grumbled? बड़बड़ाना. Lock the thing in the bathroom. Then go out and find the man you bought it from and get him to come here and collect it. क्या कहा उन्होंने? इसको कहाँ लॉक करो? बाथरूम में. और फिर जिससे लिया है उसको बुला करके इसको वापस दो. And so grandfather took the python into the bathroom and placed it in the tub. After closing the door on, he gave me a sad look. जैसे उन्होंने दरवाज़ा बंद किया, कैसा उसने उनकी तरफ किस तरह से देखा, जैसे वो बहुत दुखी हो. Perhaps grandmother is right this time, he said. After all, we don't want the snake to get hold of Toto, and it's sure to be very hungry. उन्हें समझ में आ गया था कि स्नेक को घर में रखना ठीक नहीं है, अदरवाइज वो टोटो को खा जाएगा. He hurried off to the bazaar to look for the snake charmer and was gone for about 2 hours. When grandfather returned, looking crestfallen, we knew he had not been able to find the snake charmer. जब वापस आए तो क्या हुआ? उनको स्नेक चार्मर नहीं मिला था. करीब 2 घंटा उनको लग गया था. Well then, kindly take it away yourself, said grandmother. Leave it in the jungle across the river bed. इसको जंगल में छोड़ करके आओ. All right, but let me feed it first, said grandfather. क्या कहा उन्होंने? कि मुझे इसको फीड कराने दो, कुछ खिलाने दो. He produced a plucked chicken and went into the bathroom, followed in single file by myself, grandfather, the cook and the gardener. Grandfather, cook और gardener सब बाथरूम की तरफ को गए. Grandfather opened the door and stepped into the room. I peeped round his legs, while the others stayed well behind. We couldn't see the python anywhere. जब वहाँ झांका देखा तो क्या हुआ? पाइथन कहीं भी नहीं था. He is gone, announced grandfather. He couldn't have gone far, said grandmother. Look under the tub. टब के नीचे देखो, ज़्यादा दूर नहीं गया होगा. We looked under the tub, but the python was not there. Then grandfather went to the window. We left it open, he said. He must have gone this way. जो विंडो खुली थी, हो सकता है वहाँ से चला गया होगा. A careful search was made of the house, the kitchen, the garden, the stable, and the poultry shed, but the python couldn't be found anywhere. Stable, जहाँ घोड़े वगैरह रखे जाते हैं. Aunt Mabel arrived the next day for a 3-week visit, and for a couple of days, grandfather and I were a little worried in case the python made a sudden appearance. But on the 3rd day, when he didn't show up, we felt sure that he had gone for good. क्या लगा? जब लगातार 3 दिन तक उनको नहीं दिखाई दिया तो उनको लगा शायद अब वो चला गया. अच्छा हुआ, अच्छे के लिए वो चला गया. And then towards evening, we were startled by a scream from the garden. Seconds later, Aunt Mabel came flying up the veranda steps. Startled? सरप्राइज हो जाना, आश्चर्यचकित हो जाना. क्या हुआ? उन्हें स्नेक आंट मेबल को स्नेक दिखाई दिया. In the guava tree, she gasped. I was reaching for a guava when I saw it staring at me. The look in its eyes as though it would eat me alive. गुआवा लेने जा रही थी गुआवा ट्री में. जिस ढंग से उसने देखा लगा वो आंट मेबल को खा जाएगा. Calm down, my dear, urged grandmother. Tell us, what did you see? A snake, sobbed Aunt Mabel. A great boa constrictor. It must have been 20 feet long. In the guava tree, its eyes were terrible, and it looked at me in such a queer way. 20 फीट लंबा वो था और गुआवा ट्री से इस तरह से देख रहा था जैसे वो उनको खा जाएगा. My grandparents exchanged glances, and grandfather said, I will go out and kill it. Taking hold of an umbrella, he sallied forth into the garden. But when he got to the guava tree, the python had gone. Python वहाँ से चला गया था. After this incident, the python began to make a number of appearances, always in the most unexpected places. जहाँ उम्मीद भी नहीं हो, उस जगह भी वो दिखाई दे रहा था. Aunt Mabel had another fit when she saw him emerge from beneath a cushion. She packed her bags and left. जब कुशन के नीचे उसको आंट मेबल को दिखाई दिया तो डर के मारे उन्होंने क्या करा, अपना बैग पैक किया और वो चली गई. The hunt continued. The search was continued. One morning, I saw the python curled up on the dressing table, gazing at his own reflection in the mirror. Reflection? Reflection. Reflection means image, अपना प्रतिबिंब. I went for grandfather, but by the time we returned to the room, the python had moved on. वहाँ से चला गया था python. He was seen in the garden, and once the cook saw him crawling up the iron ladder to the roof. Then we found him on the dressing table a second time, admiring himself in the mirror. Evidently, he was fascinated by his own reflection. Admiring? Admiring means तारीफ करना. अपना रिफ्लेक्शन देख के शीशे में वो खुद की तारीफ अपने आप कर रहा था. He was fascinated by his own reflection. All the attention he is getting has probably made him conceited. Conceited? घमंडी बना देना, प्राउडी. बहुत सुंदर वो अपने आप को देख रहा था. Said grandfather, anyway, now we know his weakness. The python is becoming vain, so it should be easier to catch him. अब उनको क्या लग रहा था कि पाइथन की जो वीकनेस है वो उन्होंने पकड़ ली थी, अब वो उसे कैच कर लेंगे। Grandfather set about preparing a large cage with a mirror at one end. In the cage, he left a juicy chicken and several other tasty things. The opening was fitted up with a trapdoor. एक trapdoor उसमें लगा दिया गया था, जिससे जो है वहाँ पे मिरर रखा गया उसके अंदर, जूसी चिकन रखा गया उसके अंदर, और उसके लिए एक केज प्रिपेयर किया गया। For a few days, nothing happened. And then, as I was leaving for school one morning, I saw the python in the cage. कहाँ दिखाई दिया पाइथन? केज के अंदर। He had eaten everything left out for him and was curled up in front of the mirror. कहाँ था? मिरर के सामने कर्ल होकर बैठा हुआ था। With something that resembled a smile on his face. If you can imagine a python smiling. I lowered the trapdoor gently, but the python took no notice of me. Grandfather and the gardener put the cage in a tonga and took it across the riverbed. Opening the trapdoor, they left the cage in the jungle. Trapdoor को खोल करके उन्होंने जंगल में उसको छोड़ दिया। When they went away, the python had made no attempt to get out. I didn't have the heart to take the mirror away from him, said grandfather. It's the first time I have seen a snake fall in love. शीशे के आगे अपनी ब्यूटी को वो प्रेस कर रहा था। ग्रैंडफादर की भी हिम्मत नहीं हुई कि उस शीशे को वहाँ से निकाल सके। फर्स्ट टाइम लगा कि स्नेक को अपने आप से प्यार हो गया। तो देखा बच्चों आपने, थी ना इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी, लेकिन एक लेसन मिलता है कि जो वाइल्ड एनिमल्स होते हैं उन्हें घर में नहीं लाना चाहिए, वो डेंजरस हो सकते हैं। आई होप यू हैव एंजॉयड द स्टोरी. नाउ इट्स टाइम टू रिवाइज. यू कैन रिवाइज इट.